Nardwuar. It may not be a name that you know that well. This is a guy that somehow gets all the information that he needs to know about rappers and then questions them about it. And it blows their minds.
I can't do this. What Kanye do?
Some simply people from their past that they bring up to the deepest private moments of their lives at times, Nardwuar has a lock on it. And so let me show you some of his best ones. Be sure to like the video and subscribe, The King Trending. Number 8. How do you know these people?
Brendan Clevenger.
Oh, Brendan Clevenger. How do you know all these people?
To start off, let's go with a simple one that many might find to sound basic, but it's actually something very impressive. For during an interview with Post Malone, Nardwuar decided to do some name drops, and among them were people from his past, like his childhood past, and very early in his rapping career.
Probst.
Jason Probst. I love Jason.
And with every single name that he dropped, Post Malone gets more and more animated in hearing these names, even one of which where he met one of his longtime girlfriends. In some ways, it's a bit creepy, but Post Malone keeps it real and focuses on the fact that these are happy memories that he's reliving via Nardwuar name dropping them like this.
You are Post Malone. We have to know these people.
Incredible. How do you know these guys?
But seriously though, this begs us to ask the question, how did Nardwuar find out about these people? Sure, some of them could have just been found via some basic searches like research in public records, but some of the others? Yeah, not so much. It really makes you wonder, how does Nardwuar get his information? Does he have sources on the inside? Are there people working together to get such information and not only make it seem like Nardwuar is the mastermind behind it all? These are the questions that'll keep many people up at night, as you'll see. Number 7, a perfect gift.
A signed Billy Idol record.
So you might think that Nardwuar just goes around and gets information about the people in various people's lives and talks to them about it just to show that he knows. But no, he actually goes way deeper than that. For example, when he talked with the rapper Juice WRLD, he went beyond basic information and backstory and decided to get him a gift. But not any kind of gift. A signed Billy Idol record from 1982.
1982. A signed Billy Idol.
Now, it's okay if you don't know who Billy Idol is. That's understandable, depending on how old you are. But to Juice WRLD, this meant the world. Why? Well, apparently his mother loved Billy Idol, and so by extension, Juice WRLD loved Billy Idol. In the video, he credited him to being one of the biggest influences in his life in terms of music. So needless to say, he was a bit stunned by seeing it and getting a signed one. And then, as if just enough, Nardwuar then pulls out a picture from Juice WRLD's past that showed him in a very different visual light. Nothing graphic, but him looking very different from where he is now. Juice WRLD's reaction is priceless, which makes Nardwuar all the more terrifying.
Of Juice WRLD.
Oh, but he still wasn't done. He then started to sing some things to Juice WRLD. Random stuff? Yeah, don't you wish. No, it was stuff from the Illest Hour radio show that Juice WRLD had submitted earlier in his career. As in, when he was a freshman in high school. I don't know how he got all this stuff, but many rappers in the world right now are afraid of Nardwuar for a good reason. Number 6. The gifts keep coming.
Texas the Mirror.
Appreciate it.
Right off the bat, I have a gift for you.
It's scary how in-depth Nardwuar gets into his gift giving. Like with YBN Namir, where you also get some records from his past, like some Thugs and Harmony records and some instrumental records too. Naturally, Namir had his jaw on the floor, and for good reason.
E40 records for you.
This is insane. Speaking of insane, how about knowing all the groups that Namir has been part of before he struck out on his own, like the Jungle Boys or 46 Mafia? Namir loses it at this point because it's so wrong that Nardwuar knew about these groups from so long ago. Seriously though, there are lifelong fans of Namir who don't even know these groups and songs even existed, and yet Nardwuar does.
46 Mafia?
It goes so deep that Namir literally can't keep a straight face. Nardwuar almost literally brought him to his knees because he couldn't understand how he knew about these things. Yeah, a few things. Yeah, sure, that's a par for the course. But all of this, are you kidding me? I bet after this interview, Namir was asking all of his friends and family if they had been talking to Nardwuar because I'm sure that's the only way he feels that he would possibly know about these things. I personally think it was black magic, but that's my opinion. Let's move on. Number 5, the sky's the limit.
You watching Nardwuar's video about? Yeah.
At this point, I'm really hoping that you're appreciating the depth that Nardwuar goes into in order to bring the true info bombs on these rappers. Take Lil Skies for example. You see, Nardwuar somehow found out that his uncle Jason Moore had introduced Lil Skies to Jay-Z via his music at the ripe age of 4 years old.
Age 4 to a Jay-Z beat?
Yeah.
Now that's an uncle with a carefree personality. Oh, but it wasn't just his uncle he had found stuff on. Turns out Lil Skies had actually done a CD mix with his own father, literally titling it Father-Son Talk. Lil Skies couldn't believe that he not only found out about that CD, but he'd actually gotten a copy of it.
Right here. Father-son talk.
Oh, no way.
Frankly, neither can I. Then to top it all off, he actually went and pulled out a picture of Lil Skies from his youth with him holding an old school CD player. A massive one, mind you, and it just triggered him in the most funny way. There's no logical explanation for how Nardwuar knew about all this, and yet he does. You should fear him. Fear him now. Number 4. I love this record.
Oh, man, I would really get into this record right here, bro.
Jumping to something rather interesting and very mind-blowing for one Denzel Curry, let's talk about how musicians start out in the music business. It's not always as simple as making a song, getting signed, and more. Sometimes they need to do whatever they can in order to make music. And for one Denzel Curry, he had done a record literally with a group called Freestyle Fellowship, and he had a different name back then for this record. So that makes you have to wonder, how did Nardwuar find out about this record? In fact, when Denzel Curry gets it, that's right, Nardwuar somehow got a copy of this record, he loses his mind. He can't figure out how he got it, even revealing that many of his fan base doesn't even know that he did this track.
45.
Oh, what the hell you know about this? Oh my.
So how did Nardwuar get it? How did he even know where to look for this? Oh, but he didn't stop there, for not only did he drop that record, Nardwuar then recounted how at an event with his group, his aunt actually did security for one of their shows. That's some very deep information, and that continues to blow Curry's mind. And if you're still skeptical about this info dump, then he talked about a man from Curry's hometown on his block, causing Curry to leave in shock because he knew about him. This man is scary.
It's from my block? Whoa! I'm done.
Number 3. What is going on here?
That is, yeah. Who is that? What is going on there?
This is Lil Perk.
Let's now jump to an interview that Nardwuar did with Young West, where right off the bat, Nardwuar pulls out a picture of Young West when he was very young, and it was him with a reverse baseball cap, standing in front of a green screen. Apparently, he thought he looked cool back then, and I guess in a way he did, but he definitely needs to learn about how to take a picture with a better background. Oh, but there was more to that picture than you know, for it showed another version of Young West from when he went by another name. And apparently he had done a song called Pringles Rap, and Young West wasn't that happy to hear the name of the song. Or was he just stunned? It's kind of really hard to tell with people at times.
Yo, damn, I thought I was sexy. I'm not gonna lie, but
Also, and somewhat surprisingly to Young West himself, he knew some other singers at a young age. He apparently met Lil Pump when he was 9. How did he know about that? Number 2, family history.
Wow. Yes, my dad was a rapper.
And now we move on to Ski Mask the Slump God. What does Nardwuar know about Ski Mask the Slump God? Better question, what doesn't he know about Ski Mask the Slump God? For example, he starts off the interview by noting that Ski Mask's dad was a rapper as well, which naturally blows Ski Mask's mind because not many people even knew that fact. Mainly because he was a rapper that only had a small following in Florida, and he wasn't a rapper for very long. So Ski Mask was very taken back that he knew about these facts. Oh, but that was just the beginning. For then he name-dropped Graceful J's. What was that? This is another rapper that he knows? Nope. Is it a song he wrote long ago? Nope. Way cold. Instead, that's actually a restaurant that Ski Mask the Slump God would go to eat when he was younger. That's right, Nardwuar somehow knows and found out about a restaurant that Ski Mask had eaten at in his youth. I don't think there's no limit to this man's power because seriously, frankly, I don't think so. What's that? You doubt his power? Well, Nardwuar then recites some of the good food that Ski Mask the Slump God likes and would get at the restaurant, like shrimp Alfredo, which really puts Ski Mask off for obvious reasons. And after that, Nardwuar starts to drop details about his childhood, like the name of his high school, the friends he knew there, the flea market that him and his dad group would go up around, and on and on and on it went. He even talked about how he met other rappers in the restroom. Okay. This was confirmed by Ski Mask the Slump God, and he couldn't understand how he knew he had met Nas in the bathroom. I mean, how do you get that information? Nardwuar even made Slump God come out clean about how he lost his jewelry, and somehow he actually lost more jewelry than he had bought. Think about that for a few minutes as I move on. Number 1, Family History Part 2.
What about your dad in EU, butt? What can you say about your dad?
As I wrap up this video, let's talk about how Nardwuar somehow knew the entire family history of one of the singers he interviewed. Just to start off, he knew that the singers had an aunt and a husband who actually made satellites for the government. That's next level knowledge, because you have to know this information is regulated and restricted depending on how much of these satellites that he worked on, and yet Nardwuar found out. Or how about that the singer's father was not only a singer himself, but the first percussionist for the group called EU, and even pulled out a record showing him just that. Where did he get it? How did he dig up that entire history? Yeah, pretty impressive. He even got the singer to admit that he and his dad sung together on a song called Incarceration.
Nate?
Incarceration. You know about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we should all fear the power of Nardwuar. So, what do you guys think of these interviews where Nardwuar blew some rappers' minds? Can you also believe that he got all of this information? How do you think he got all this information? Just how good do you think he really is? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe to King Trending, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these 3. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.